Love Island, Beyond the Villa Season 2, Episodes 5 and 6, when love turns loud, loyalty gets tested, and everybody starts showing their real face. If you thought Love Island, Beyond the Villa Season 2 was going to stay cute, flirty, and Instagram perfect, Episodes 5 and 6 came through like an unexpected thunderstorm and said, absolutely not. Because what we witnessed wasn't just drama. This was a full-blown shift in energy. The smiles, forced. The friendships, questionable. The relationships, hanging on by a thread. And the villa, baby, the villa turned into a reality TV battlefield. Let's get into it. Palm tree from paradise to pressure cooker. Up until episode 5, the vibe was still somewhat manageable. Yes, there were little shady moments, a few slick comments, and some, I'm watching you, energy floating around, but nothing that completely shattered the group dynamic. But here's the thing about reality TV. Drama doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It builds, it simmers, and then, boom, it explodes. Episodes 5 and 6 are that explosion. Bomb Episode 5, the rumors that started it all. Episode 5 opens with a strange tension in the air. You know that feeling when you walk into a room and people suddenly go quiet? Yeah, that. Something is off, and everybody feels it. Conversations are shorter. Eye contact is avoided. People are whispering in pairs instead of laughing in groups. It's giving, we know something you don't know. And eventually, that something comes out. The flirting allegations. Now let's talk about the main issue that shook the villa. Flirting outside the relationship. And no, not the playful, harmless kind. We're talking about behavior that crosses into, wait, weren't you just saying you were serious about your partner? That's where the problem begins. Because in a place like the villa, where everything is already heightened, loyalty becomes the currency. And once that currency starts looking fake, everything falls apart. The accusations start subtle. I heard something. Someone told me. I didn't want to say anything, but. And you already know when a sentence starts like that. Mess is coming. Cell phone receipts enter the chat. What takes this situation from rumor to full-on chaos is one thing. Proof. Somebody doesn't just talk. They bring receipts. Texts. Screenshots. Conversations. Evidence. And suddenly, it's no longer. Did you do it? It's. Explain this. The person at the center of it all tries to stay calm, but you can see it in their face, that moment of panic when they realize this isn't something they can easily talk their way out of. And the group, oh, they are invested. Because nothing bonds people faster than someone else's drama. Heartbreak. The strong couple isn't so strong anymore. Every season has that couple that feels like they're above the drama. The ones who say things like, we're solid, nothing can break us, we communicate. Well, Episode 5 tests all of that. Because when those receipts hit the table, the foundation starts cracking. The conversation between them is uncomfortable to watch, not because it's loud, but because it's controlled. You know the tone people use when they're trying not to lose it on camera. That's what this was. There are pauses. There are sighs. There are moments where one person looks like they want to say more, but stops. And that silence, louder than any argument. Women with bunny ears friendships start picking sides. Now let's get into the friendships, because this is where the real storyline starts forming. At first, it feels like everyone is trying to stay neutral. You hear things like, I'm not taking sides, I just want everyone to be honest. But give it 5 minutes, and suddenly, sides are picked. You've got the defenders, the skeptics, the instigators, the ones who just want the drama to keep going. And then you've got the quiet ones, watching everything, saying very little, but definitely forming opinions. Pensive face. The beginning of isolation. One of the most uncomfortable parts of episode 5 is watching one cast member slowly realize they might be on the outside. They start noticing conversations stopping when they walk in, people avoiding eye contact, energy shifting around them, and it's not even loud or obvious, it's subtle. But subtle hurts more sometimes. Because instead of confrontation, they're left with confusion. And confusion, that's where insecurity grows. Fire. Episode 6, the explosion we were waiting for. If episode 5 was the setup, episode 6 is the payoff. And baby, it does not disappoint. Because everything that was whispered, hinted at, and danced around finally comes to the surface. Speaking head. The confrontation. It all leads to one moment, the confrontation. Everyone is there. Nobody can escape. And the truth, it's coming out whether people are ready or not. What starts as a conversation quickly turns into raised voices, overlapping arguments, people interrupting each other, Emotions spilling everywhere. It's messy. It's chaotic. And it's exactly what reality TV lives for. Crying tears, anger, and, I'm done, energy. This episode gives us the full emotional range. Someone crying because they feel betrayed. Someone yelling because they feel misunderstood. Someone staying calm, but clearly boiling inside. And of course, the classic, I'm done, line. Now let's be honest. Nobody is ever really done in these situations. They say it, they walk away, and 5 minutes later, they're back talking again. But in the moment, it feels final. Heartbreak. A relationship hits its breaking point. The couple that was already struggling in episode 5. Episode 6 pushes them to the edge. And you can tell, this isn't just a little argument. This is built-up frustration, unanswered questions, trust that's been chipped away. They're no longer talking to understand each other. They're talking to defend themselves. And that's when relationships start falling apart. Crossed swords. The villa is officially divided. By the end of episode 6, there is no more one big happy group. The villa is split. You've got team, they're innocent, team, they're guilty, team, I don't care but I'm watching. And the tension, thick. Even the smallest interactions feel loaded. A simple, hey, comes with underlying energy like, we're not cool, but we're pretending. Eyes. The rise of the villain. Every reality show needs a villain. And episode 6 makes it very clear who's stepping into that role, whether they like it or not. Now here's the thing, sometimes the villain isn't actually the worst person. They're just the one caught in the mess, exposed at the wrong time, or unable to explain themselves clearly. But perception is everything, and right now, the perception isn't looking good. TV. Let's talk about the real theme, trust. If there's one word that defines these 2 episodes, it's trust. Because once trust is broken, or even questioned, it changes everything. You start seeing things differently. You start questioning intentions. You start wondering, were they ever honest? Was any of it real? And in a setting like the villa, where emotions are already heightened, that kind of doubt spreads fast. Brain. The psychology of it all. What makes episodes 5 and 6 so interesting isn't just the drama, it's the psychology behind it. You're watching people react in real time, process betrayal publicly, try to protect their image while dealing with real emotions. And that balance, almost impossible to maintain, because at the end of the day, no matter how aware they are of the cameras, feelings are feelings. Face mask. Who's real and who's performing? Another question these episodes raise is, who's being genuine, and who's putting on a show? Because let's be honest, this is reality TV. Some people play things up for the cameras, hold back to protect their image, or lean into certain roles. And when drama hits, those performances either fall apart, or become even more obvious. Popcorn. Why this is actually good for the show. Now let's keep it real. As messy as this is exactly what the show needed. Because without conflict, there's no story. Without tension, there's no growth. Without chaos, there's no reason to keep watching. Episodes 5 and 6 give us stakes, emotional investment, and storylines that actually matter. Frog. Final shady thoughts. Because we gotta be honest. Let's wrap this up with some real talk. Somebody really thought they could do whatever they wanted and not get caught, and that backfired quick. One couple is holding on by hope, vibes, and denial. Some friendships were never real, they just needed a little pressure to crack. And the quiet ones. Don't trust them either, they know more than they're saying. Pushpin. Final verdict. Episodes 5 and 6 of Love Island, Beyond the Villa Season 2 are the turning point of the season. This is where the real personalities come out. The fake energy starts fading. And the villa becomes less about love, and more about survival. Because at this point, it's not just about finding a connection. It's about protecting your reputation, choosing your alliances, and figuring out who you can actually trust. And based on what we've seen, trust is in very short supply. If the rest of the season keeps this energy, oh, it's about to get even messier.